Stigma and discrimination. Now, for those of us who suffer from mental health issues as a whole, we're often plagued by stigma as well as discrimination. Stigma, it's a negative stereotype, and because there's so much stigma around, it puts up barriers with us because the way people judge us, the way people perceive us, it contributes to how we live a satisfying life. If there's so many barriers put up, we're never going to be happy. We're not never going to be satisfied. You're never going to be able to feel complete, right? And then discrimination, it's pretty self-explanatory, race, age, gender, identity, marital status, etc., etc. And your mental disorder or disability can also be tied into discrimination too. Now, the main problem with stigma is media, right? TV, movies, news, journalism, shows, media and film. But I guess I can say mainly media because film right now, they kind of portray mental health issues a little bit better. Not as, stereotypical from what I've noticed, but, don't quote me on that, right? But, the media has shaped people who suffer from mental health issues, mental illnesses, disorders. They pretty much shaped us to be dangerous, unpredictable, violent, sociopaths, narcissists, out of control, etc., etc., right? All negative things. And that's mainly because it's just how the media is. So let's say, crimes, a lot of crimes you see, they'll say, oh, this person, they were suffering from depression, they were suffering from bipolar disorder, they're suffering from this, that's some kind of mental disorder, right? And then they'll say, because of that, they acted out and people got hurt. There was like a lot of violent acts, they attacked people, stuff like that. Even too, like on the entertainment side, there's a lot of celebrities coming out now too that openly admit to suffering from mental health issues, and they get support, right? They don't get bashed, maybe some, but when a normal person like us comes out and says, oh, we need help, we don't get nothing, right? We get laughed at, we get told, oh, it's life, cheer up, buttercup, grow up, you have nothing to be depressed about. Basically, I talked about this in my last video. Pretty much the negative side, mainly it comes from how the media portrays us. And then, the impact of the negativity in the public sectors, there's, a lot of misconceptions, a lot of fears, and, mental health is used justify bullying. It's used to justify bullying, which I found kind of weird, but I guess in a way I can understand, a lot of bullies, they do deal, a lot of them come from, broken homes, abusive environments, bad situations. So I guess on that sense, I can say fine. You can use mental health to justify bullying. But I've been on the receiving end of that. I've had a lot of bullies too. So for me, I don't know how I feel about that. But I'm not going to broach that subject too much on the bullying thing in mental health. Now, the other thing too, which I can actually relate to this one. Some of us, we get denied insurance, jobs, maybe special housing or affordable housing because we suffer from mental health issues, right? And that's due to stigma associated with the illnesses, right? Many people, well, many of us in general, I can't say many people because I'm one of them, we lose our self-esteem, right? We have difficulty making friends, finding partners, going out, having fun, trying to live a life because there's so much stigma attached to us for what we suffer from, right? And you go try and seek help, you try and talk to people. If you have no one to help you get through that, help you make that step, it makes it worse, right? Because of how stigma portrays mental health as a whole, and how going to see a therapist to a lot of people basically to a lot of people, if you go see a therapist, you're weak, right? I had someone today, for example, tell me, oh, why don't you go cry to a therapist if you're feeling depressed or you're feeling stressed? Oh, does your therapist burp you? I'm like, really? That had nothing to do with the post I made at all. But you see, that's how we're portrayed, right? That's how the stigma is. But there is one thing you can do to try and make your impact on how mental health is portrayed in the public, media outlets, maybe a local community center. And basically, this is called S.T.O.P, right? It's a criteria. It's used to recognize attitudes and actions that support the stigma of mental health conditions. And it's easy, just ask yourself if you want to hear it, right? So the S stands for stereotypes. Stereotypes, people with mental health conditions, that assumes they're all alike rather than all individuals. Basically saying, oh, if that person's depressed, that means he's depressed, and they're probably both gonna go and, I don't know, do something bad together, or they're both bipolar, so maybe those two other bipolar guys from the week before who robbed the bank, these two guys, they can probably do it too, right? Stereotypes. T, trivializes or belittles people with mental health conditions and or the condition itself. So that's pretty much back to a stereotype thing, basically judging that specific mental health condition. O, offends people with mental health conditions by insulting them. So that one's pretty self-explanatory. If you find they're insulting people, like everyone who suffers from like schizophrenia, for example, if you find they're insulting people who suffer from that, or insulting people who suffer from anxiety, you have to speak up. And then patronizes them. So patronizes people with mental health conditions by treating them as if we're not all as good as other people. So basically singling us out. That's what S.T.O.P is. Now I'm going to leave a picture either in the video, or I'll leave a link to the picture for S.T.O.P so you can save it on your phone if you need to remember. You can write it down. I'll also put it in the description. I'll break it down so you guys can know exactly what it is, and I'll leave some examples too, just in case you have trouble thinking of examples, stuff like that. Like I'll make it easier to remember the S.T.O.P method. But remember, if you see something in the media that doesn't pass the S.T.O.P criteria, you have to speak up, call them, write to whoever's publishing. If it's a TV show, like you see it on the news, like CP24 or something, call them up. There's numbers, they'll answer. You can tell them how you feel, tell them like what they're doing is wrong, and make your voice heard. And if that doesn't work, you can always talk to like a city councilor or something. They'll do something for you too, but you have to be persistent. You can't just like call once and be like, oh, no one cared, no one listened, I did my job. No, you have to be persistent. If it bothers you that much, you think it's insulting, you think it's offensive, you think it's like pretty much singling out like whatever they're talking about, like singling out that one mental health condition, singling out like maybe they're going by all men who suffer from this, like pretty much basically if it's denying someone their human rights, because discrimination is basically denying your rights as a human being. So with the S.T.O.P method, just keep in mind, you can speak up, you can make a change. And with that being said, I thank you guys for tuning into this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Later, guys.